Hello everyone, I am Disha. Welcome to Drishti IAS. So in this video, we will discuss the NATO summit which has happened very recently in Turkey. We will see its highlights, what were the key announcements which has been made in this particular summit. We will also see the formation of NATO. We will talk about its objectives, what was the key objectives and what was the key principle on the basis of which the NATO was formed. And at last, we will be solving some practice questions. So let's get started. Okay, so the NATO Summit 2026 was held in Ankara, Turkey on 7th and 8th of July 2026. This fact you have to remember for your preliminary examination. The NATO Summit was taken place at Ankara. Ankara is the capital city of Turkey. So this year the Turkey has hosted a NATO Summit. Alright, now the summit brings together the head of state and government of all the 32 NATO members. That means what? That the 32 member nations are participant of NATO. NATO has 32 member nations. Okay, now the primary objective of NATO Summit 2026 is to strengthen the alliance, collective security, enhance military preparedness, and formulate the coordinated response to emerging geopolitical and security challenges. In this summit, they have talked about how they can increase their defense procurement, how they can be better prepared for the future wars, and all of that. We will discuss this in our upcoming slides. Okay. What is NATO? NATO is North Atlantic Treaty Organization. It's a politico-military alliance which was formed on 4th of April 1949. It was made for collective defense under Article 5. So here we have to understand some keywords. Let us understand. So first thing is politico-military alliance. What does the word military alliance means? See, the military alliance is a type of agreement where the group of countries are coming together and they are making an agreement. They are taking the responsibility of each other's security. It is based on the principle of Article 5. Now, Article 5 is a major component of NATO. What does the Article 5 says? It says an attack on one member country is treated as an attack on all of them. Okay? Even if one country of the NATO who is a part of NATO membership gets attacked, then the NATO members will take it as an attack on themselves. Okay? Are you able to understand that? So that's how it becomes a military alliance. Now, how it is a political alliance? See, the word political alliance means that the group of countries, the NATO countries, will come together and they will discuss on the different issues which are ongoing globally. For example, there is a cyber security, and then there are terrorism. There are few different concerns where they will meet together and they will discuss. So that's how it becomes a political alliance. Okay. Now we have talked about Article 5. One important fact that NATO originally has 12 founding members. Okay. Right now it has 32 members, but these 12 founding members NATO had originally. Okay. Originally it has 12 founding members. Okay. Decisions are consensus based. Members are sovereign and coordinate defense, deterrence, and crisis management. They are saying that decisions are consensus based. What does that mean? It means that all the member countries have an equal voting share. Okay. And even if one of them goes against any decision which NATO is about to take on, then that particular decision will not be implemented. Okay. So each one of them has an equal voting share. Here is the list of current NATO members. We can read them. Okay. So because I believe the more you will read, the more you will be able to remember the list of these countries. See, there is Albania, Belgium, Bulgaria, Canada, Croatia, Czechia, Denmark, Estonia, Finland, France, Germany, Greece, Hungary, Iceland, Italy, Latvia, Lithuania, Luxembourg, Montenegro, Netherlands, North Macedonia, Norway, Poland, Portugal, Romania, Slovakia, Slovenia, Spain, Turkey, United Kingdom, US, and Sweden. All right. Now the two most recent additions, the two countries which has recently became a part of NATO membership are Finland and Sweden. Okay. You can have to remember their names. It can be asked. Even the PYQ has been asked on the NATO membership. So it becomes important for you to remember the list of the NATO members. Okay. Now let us talk about the key highlights, what has been discussed in the summit. The first highlight is US-Iran tensions and regional security. So you must be aware of the fact that there has been a recent conflict between US and Iran. Okay, they both had a conflict, and because of that, the Strait of Hormuz also got affected. It's a major choke point. So right now, what the Trump has said that the US-Iran Memorandum of Understanding is over. What does that mean? It means that the US will take a tougher approach. It will take a strict approach. Strict US stance towards the Iran. Why it will take a tough stance? Why? Because They want to promote the regional stability. They want to protect the navigation through the Strait of Hormuz. Because if the Strait of Hormuz gets disrupted, then the entire global trade also gets affected. It leads to the increase in oil prices. It affects the global trade. So the US will adopt a tougher approach towards the Iran. That's how the Trump has said. Now the second point is increased defense spending and burden sharing. Now the NATO members have agreed significantly to increase their defense expenditure and strengthen military capabilities. See, what does the NATO expects from its member countries? The NATO wants that the member countries should contribute more share of their expenditure in the defense category. Right now, the NATO expected that the member countries should contribute at least 2% of their GDP in the defense. But the NATO wants to go more far beyond the 2%. Okay, why is it so? Because the NATO believes the US has beared the major share of burden till now. What does the NATO expects right now? The NATO wants that the European members should assume greater share of responsibility. The European members should assume the greater share of responsibility for their own security. Okay, so US somewhere wants to reduce its burden. That's why they are expecting that the European members should contribute more in their defense expenditure and they should bear the more responsibility. All right. The third point is focus on emerging military technologies. So the NATO members, they are aware of the fact that technology is going to be a major component of the future wars. All right. So that's why they are investing more in the upcoming technologies such as artificial intelligence, drones, integrated air and missile defense, intelligence sharing, and interoperable digital military networks. Now, what does this highlight? It highlights that the NATO is shifting towards the preparing for future technology-driven warfare. Why they are doing that? Because they want to be better prepared for the future wars. That's why they will invest in the emerging military technologies. Okay. Now, the fourth point is rising concerns over global securities. See, the summit took place against the backdrop of multiple geopolitical crises, including the Russia-Ukraine conflict, tensions in the Middle East, and concerns over the Iran nuclear program. NATO reiterated its commitment to maintain regional stability. The NATO members will try that they will, continue to maintain the regional stability because since last 2-3 years, we have been facing a geopolitical conflicts. We have seen that there is the Ukraine is involved with war along with Russia since 2022. Then there was a conflict in Middle East this year. Then there was a conflict between US and Iran. So what does the NATO want? NATO members are expressing their concern that the regional stability should be maintained, especially the critical maritime routes such as Strait of Hormuz, because Strait of Hormuz is a major choke point. Okay, so they have expressed their concerns about the global security. Now the fifth point is transformation of NATO strategic priorities. See, the NATO leaders have highlighted the need to transform into the alliance into more capable and resilient security organization. Somewhere or the other way, they are changing their approach. What they are saying that we will play a great emphasis. We will put a greater emphasis on the collective deterrence, military preparedness, and defense industrial capacity, rapid response capabilities. Okay. Now, what does this word deterrence means? Deterrence is a very simple terminology in international relations. It means, let's just say that there are two countries, country A and B. Country B is the enemy of country A, and country A is very much aware of the fact that country B can, attack country A. So in a way, by showcasing its military capabilities, country A is trying to warn the country B that if you will attack us, you will face a very bad consequences. Somewhere or the other way, country A is showcasing a deterrence. Okay, and why do we showcase deterrence? Because we do not want to face the war. So the NATO members will showcase the collective deterrence. All right, are you able to understand this point? Okay. Now, sixth point is strengthening alliance unity. Despite differences among member states over issues such as defense spending and regional security priorities, the 2026 NATO Summit reaffirmed the alliance commitment to collective defense and strong transatlantic approach. Okay, see, there are 32 member countries who are the participant of NATO. Now, it is very obvious that these 32 countries will not agree along with each other on every issue. But still, despite of all these differences, they are willing to come together. They are willing to showcase the world. They are willing to showcase the world that they are still united and they still believe in the NATO principles which were formed originally. Prior to the, afterwards the World War II got over, they believed in the original NATO principles. That's why they are showcasing. They also showcase the transatlantic cooperation. What does the word transatlantic cooperation means? You're very aware of the fact that US is also part of NATO, and on the other hand, there are European countries. These two set of countries are divided by an Atlantic Ocean. So when we talk about the set of countries like US and European countries, so we say that they are transatlantic countries. There is a unity in the transatlantic countries. Okay, there is a unity in the transatlantic countries. So by participating in this summit, they are showcasing that still we are united. We believe in the NATO principles. Leaders emphasize the need to maintain unity, improve coordination, and work together to address the evolving geopolitical challenges, ensuring that the NATO remains a cohesive and effective security alliance. Alongside that, they have also talked about to provide the continued support to the Ukraine, because Ukraine is involved in war with the Russia. So NATO members will continue to support Ukraine by providing them the financial assistance, military assistance, and politically they will also support them. How will they support politically? How they will support Ukraine politically? By supporting Ukraine on the international forums, right? Now here is the practice questions for all of you. Question number 1. The 2026 NATO Summit is being hosted in which of the following cities? Option A, Vilnius. Option B, The Hague. Option C, Ankara. Option D, Brussels. Write down your answers in the comment section. Then question number 2. Consider the following countries. This particular question is your PYQ. It has been asked in 2025. Okay. So these are the options. First is Austria, Bulgaria, Croatia, Serbia, Sweden, and North Macedonia. So how many of the above are the members of North Atlantic Treaty Organization? Okay. Write down your answers in the comment box. And thank you so much for watching this video. Have a good day ahead.
For more informative content, like, share and subscribe, and do not forget to press the bell icon to get the notifications.